Hi everybody, welcome back to Sprocket Man Designs. Bit of a Monty Python one again today. What is lying on the bench here is the motor out of a tumble dryer, and I've been trying for ages to think of something interesting to do with it. Part of my original scheme was to use it to drive the spinner for the back garden. Two things put me off using it for that. One was the speed it would spin at, because that would be mental, and the other was I couldn't work out how to best attach it. Since that point I've kind of got it into my head that it might be fun if I could turn it into some kind of polishing mop, so take off the pulley guide there and see if a polishing mop will fit on. Knowing my luck, I'll take this down so it's much smaller and then discover that there's no way on this earth it'll fit. Although I have just had a thought. It's always a dangerous thing to do when I'm in here. What have I done with that? I was about to say I could have sworn, and that's part of the problem with swearing. That'll do. Okay, so what's just occurred to me is the centre of a polishing mop is not dissimilar in size to a spindle on a bench grinder, which is give or take 11mm. And I think if I can get this bit off with a bit of brute force and complete ignorance, I'd be able to stretch the mop onto that. What I might have to do is shape the, if I can get this pulley wheel off, I might just have to shape the end of it a little bit, so it has, if not a proper taper, then more of an angle. But if I can do that, it's going to work, as long as it spins fast enough. And there's no way on this earth I'm going to try and amp up its rotating speed. It might be crazy, but I'm no electrician. Although it might be those vanes that prevent it from spinning up too much, and if that's the case, I wonder if just bending them out slightly, it'd reduce the resistance going that way. Anyway, that's for another minute. Let's see how I get on trying to get this pulley wheel off, and we'll take it from there, basically. Right, oops. I think I'll just find something to cover the motor up with. You may remember the other day I was scratching around looking for masking tape. Because of the theory of gaffer tape, funnily enough, it now turns out that I've not only got 3 rolls of gaffer tape, I've also got 2 rolls of masking tape, and I haven't bought one either. Now if you're thinking that's not exactly fireproof or fire retardant, it's more to stop random dust flying into the motor than it is preventing fire. Okay, time to see whether there's enough room to apply brute force and ignorance. Not quite enough for that one. And I've just put that back in exactly the wrong place, so it's guaranteed to annoy me down the line a bit. Better. Okay, so what seems to be occurring here, I don't know whether you can see that clearly. Let's see if I can remember how to use this camera. There we go. So I've cut the notch in it, as you can see. What appears to be happening, there we go. What appears to be happening is this end here is a fraction too big. I mean, it is flexing. So I think I'll have one last quick zip across this original cut, rotate it 180 degrees and see if that will relieve enough pressure to just crack it off. Got a 50-50 chance, I guess. What in the name of... Something is vibrating in a very weird way there. See if we've got a bit more play in there. Yeah, we've got play right along it. So, Okay, something just happened, not entirely certain what. There we go, we're in. And that would explain why I couldn't shift it. There's a lip there that I couldn't get past, and then it's splined. Although, yep, too hot. Well, it's ages since I've done that, isn't it? So, as you can hopefully see there, the insides of this thing aren't splined, but because that's raised very slightly, it would have required a huge amount of force to fit it, and one idiot with a cutting disc to get rid of it. So, the next part of my self-inflicted challenge, should I choose to accept it, and let's face it, I've already made it for myself, is to put just a tiny bit of a taper on there in the vague hope that the, come on brain, you can do it, yeah, the centre of the mop head is going to be small enough. Actually, while I think about it, let us ask the great gods of Machine Mart come on, good internet, well done. Search. Polish. That's the one I want, I think. Right, Oh, that's going to need an adapter. And things are leaping off the shelf. Oh, provided with bushes to reduce. So, that would require a nut and bolt, perhaps. This might be one of those things where I'm going to have to go to the land of Machine Mart. What a shame. I think I'm going to have to do some research into these things and find out what the difference between all the different types are. Made from cotton, blah, etc. Right, so I'm going to add that to my shopping basket. And then at some point I must get around to ordering that. Luckily for me, it's relatively inexpensive. And I have just spotted a screwdriver I've been looking for several days. Who'd have thought I'd put it back in the toolbox. Actually feeling the temperature of that grinder, I think a bearing's let go in it. That's a shame, it's only lasted just over a year. which is longer than the flexible hose it came, flexible drive shaft that came with it. So, what I was talking about a minute ago, about increasing its rotating speed, would involve effectively holding that part there with potentially an adjustable spanner, something like that, and then using a Stilson, put it on there and just gently flex it out. Do that all the way around, so then when it's spinning, as long as it spins in the correct direction, there would be slightly less resistance, therefore speeding up the motor. The flip side of that is it would also drive air across the motor, keeping it cool, so if I put it under load with a mop, pushing something against the mop, next thing you know, it's just going to carry on working perfectly. That's that's an inch drive, isn't it? Yeah. Can't do anything to check with that. So, for my next trick, let's just plug it in and see what happens. Officially what I should do is fit a switch to this, but let's see. So the direction I want it to go in is that one. Yeah, it looks like it's working, eh? And if you think I'm putting my fingers anywhere near that, you have got another thing coming. Methinks when it's time, I might do something about creating a guard to go over the top of that. Right, let's knock it off before I do something stupid. Okay, you can stop now, thank you. So, there we have it. This thing has been knocking around the garage for a couple of years, ever since our dishwasher, idiot, tumble dryer committed Harry-Carry. Basically the heater elements gave up. Then when I was toying with replacing the heating elements, the drive belt broke and we decided it was more effective to just bin it. Curiously, the drum out of it I was going to turn into a fire pit, then discovered it was galvanised, and one thing you don't do is create immense heat in a galvanised drum because it gives off some very nasty chemicals. So I took a couple of old bicycle rims, created a set of legs and turned it into a planter for the back garden. If I remember, I will take a picture of it and add it to this video so you can see just how daft I can get. I think there's an acer growing out of it. Is it an acer? It has sort of rusty red coloured leaves and things. That's Mrs. Boss's department, not mine. And like I say, this has been kicking around ever since. And I got the idea for a mop maybe an hour, 2 hours ago. It's simply because while I've got my wire wheel on the bench grinder and the grinding disc on the opposite side, there are times when it would be nice if I had a polishing mop and the associated products to go with it, so I could put a higher polish on things. For example, on this, that I've still not got the extra washer for, which is a job for a day when I can really genuinely be bothered with going to a hardware shop. I never go at the weekend because everybody and their idiot mate are in there just getting in the way, whereas during the week, first thing in the morning, the tradesmen are there grabbing last minute bits, and then it goes really quiet and it's quite pleasant. It also means I can go to the burger van outside and get a really nice bacon sandwich. And it's just occurred to me, if the boss watches this, she will now know why it takes me so long to go there. Rats. Damn it. Okay, not a problem. So, that's where we stand for now. Got to find out what polishing compounds Machine Mark do. Possibly get 1 or 2 sticks of that of different grades. Get it here, see if I can get it fitted, see what I've got to modify to make it fit. And then, if the mechanical gods are smiling, we'll be there. I'm actually hoping I won't need to try and modify that, because that will be a long-winded and terribly boring task. But if I do, I'll tell you if I've done it. So, for now, that's it for the mop. Thanks for watching, guys. Feel free to like, subscribe. Please leave comments if you can think of any way of improving this design other than maybe a safety feature. And creating a mount for it, because it rocks about a bit at the moment. See you next time.